Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttradesolutions.com on a Tuesday, 4th day of August. We have a perfect storm for all-time highs. We've got oil down, um, rates down, NVIDIA rallying, all the chips are rallying, Palantir's just soaring. Um, Anyways, let's get right into the charts. Again, subscribe to the newsletter. I wrote about SpaceX this week, and they're coming out with earnings after the close today. It'll be interesting. That's also catching a bid today. Made a low at like 104. We've been talking about 100. So starting with the S&P, not much to say there. We're at all-time highs, of course, and how high it goes from here. Obviously, nobody knows. We have had, looks like it's breaking out of this kind of 3-month consolidation. And we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a pullback at some point, but clearly here, shorts are probably on the S&P anyways, are off the table. However, the NASDAQ, a whole different story. You've got the NASDAQ still not at all-time highs. Maybe it's going to get there. We've had some levels that I've been a little reticent about because they're just not really great levels. This 3,000, we'll see if that holds. But I would say eventually probably is going to catch up. That is provided, stocks like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is sitting right at resistance as we speak. I think if NVIDIA breaks out of this consolidation right here, that'll probably push the NASDAQ obviously a lot higher and maybe even to all-time high. So that's a stock to watch. You can see it's been also in a consolidation. Looks like it wants to break out to the upside. We'll see. The other indices, Dow obviously at all-time highs as well. Bitcoin just can't get a bid. I thought maybe it would. I think it's going to need the NASDAQ to, if the NASDAQ continues going higher, I think Bitcoin probably catches a bid as well. VIX, interestingly, today, believe it or not, is up, which I find somewhat interesting. This could be a tell. I don't know. I thought maybe we get down to 15. Put call ratios are not extreme yet. If that gets too extreme, we may get a pullback in the overall markets. As I mentioned, the rates are coming off, not significantly. This is just a one-day thing. That was because of, again, more of the same. There's going to be a deal. We'll see if that materializes. The dollar, I wrote about it over the weekend. The yen intervention is pushing the dollar lower. The yen is kind of hanging around today. Let's see if we can take out. That's the level to watch really on the yen. See if it can take that. That could be a sea change, maybe a short-term change in the trend overall, but we'll see. Um, that also is pushing the metals today. Gold still hasn't been able to break out. Still 41.75. Looked like it was on the cusp of doing so earlier today. Still remains to be seen. I think again another push lower in the dollar may get a breakout in gold, and silver is actually acting a little bit better today. Silver, looks like it's holding 57. Platinum, copper, I've been talking about copper. That's sitting at right at all-time highs, I believe. Let's see. Yep. And this probably goes higher also. I've been very bullish on copper. We've got some stocks that we own here at DTS RIO in particular, um, some of our members. Um, and then platinum also breaking out of this minor consolidation. We'll see if that is actually a true breakout. Takes platinum back up to maybe 2,200 as well. Oil, as we know, just down again. There's a level at 74. There's the gap to fill at 71. Are we going to round trip this all the way back to 70, 68? Probably. But again, if this thing all falls apart again, we probably shoot right back up and fill the gap at 86. We're kind of in no man's land really at these levels. Um, so I think, if there is a material deal, we probably fall all the way back down to 69. If not, then we're probably going to be having some of these, kind of just headline driven type of situations. Nat gas also breaking down with the entire energy space. Looks like it's sitting right on the lows from last week. And if it holds, it'd be interesting. But I think maybe 260, 270 are going to be in the cards here for uh, nat gas. And then the grain markets are tracking almost like oil because again of the all the chemicals and stuff that go through the straits. You see copper and I'm sorry, soybeans. Wheat is trying to hold here at 635. Corn similarly falling back down again, but just kind of chopping around. This will be interesting on a long-term basis. Other than that, really, we got SpaceX this evening. We had Palantir just rocketing, coming up to some resistance at 165 to 170. We'll see if that breaks out. Obviously, it's gone parabolic now, so it should be due for a little bit of a pullback. SpaceX will be interesting to see what they do with that stock. We have non-farm payrolls on Friday, but overall, again, the market in terms of the S&P, who knows how high it's going to go. And whether those seasonals that typically cause the market to sell off kick in. Again, it's just one day, and watching sentiment really is going to be the key. When things get way, way overextended again, and everybody starts getting bullish again, that's probably when you're going to get a correction. But for this, at this point in time, other than the Nasdaq has levels. Let's see what the Nasdaq does, and more important, I think Nvidia, Apple, these stocks, everything's rallying today. We'll see if that's just a one-day thing. I think the key is going to be Nvidia. If it breaks out, then I think the Nasdaq goes a lot higher. So we'll watch and see what happens there. Uh, Again, subscribe to the newsletter and give me a thumbs up, put some commentary in the chat, and we'll see you Friday. Take care.